I'd like to ask Andy Harris to come up. And most of you heard him, most of you have seen. He's tireless. Yesterday he was in Ocean Pines at like 7 o'clock in the morning, down through Princess Anne. We met at a little rally in Princess Anne at the Ocean Park. He had a Lincoln dinner last night. This morning they toured the rest of the 1st District, and now he left Cecil County at like 3:45 to be down here with us tonight. So thank you very much for coming down.
It's so good to be back here, but it's only been 30 hours. Steve, thank you very, very much. We had a great tour throughout the 1st Congressional District. We did start in Ocean Pines a little before 8 o'clock yesterday, went through 8 counties on the shore, ended up in Kent County, did the Lincoln Day dinner there, went home, got a few hours of my sleep, collected my family, got on the bus, started all over, and what a great way to close the our 2-day bus tour to start the campaign. Look, I will tell you, and many of you have seen or heard me before, but I will tell you, this election in 2010 is, and I heard this every single stop I went to, from a lot of folks, this election is about the American dream. Those of you who know my history, some people said, what in the world, my gosh, if you went through it last time, why in the world did you get back and why are you going to do? Those of you who know my family history, both my parents came from communist countries after World War II. They're immigrants. I'm a first-generation American. They came here with literally the clothing on their back. That was it. And they left their home country. They left Europe, never to go back. My mother, until she never even saw her mother was trapped behind the Iron Curtain. She never saw her until her mother died probably 40 years after she left. Never even saw her, because she couldn't. You couldn't go back. They left here because they had heard there is this country across the Atlantic that is different from every other place in the world. Different from every other place. Where if you're a law-abiding citizen, and you go there, and you work hard, you play by the rules, you actually get to earn a living, you keep it, and you pass it on to your children. That's what the American dream is. We all know that. That's what we learned. That's what we learned when we were growing up. But what are they doing now in Washington? They forgot that. They think the American dream is something else. They think it's some socialist idea that originated over in Europe, that you can't make any... There's no better example of that than the health care reform bill. Now I'm a physician. This is important to me. I was in the operating room Wednesday up in Easton, and I looked around that operating room, and there was no bureaucrat anywhere there. None, no bureaucrat in the operating room, and everything went just fine. But that's not what they think in Washington. They think they got... There was another thing that happened, which is so funny. I was about, I'm an anesthesiologist, so I'm about to administer the propofol, Michael Jackson drug, pay attention, to a lady, very, very nice lady. She was in her 40s. And just before she goes upstairs, I hadn't mentioned anything to her that now, I'm a senator running for Congress. And she looks up, she goes, Andy, you're much taller than you are in your ads. But anyway, so, they think they know better than you. They think they knew better how to revive the economy, so they passed that $1 trillion stimulus fiasco. The unemployment rate here is over 13% in this county. It's over 13%, and you think in Annapolis, before we adjourned, they were all cheering, oh no, it's only 7.7 here, it's among the best in the country. It's 13%, and it got worse since they took off. It didn't get better, it got worse. But that kind of system doesn't work. That's top-down economics. That doesn't work in America. They try that in Europe, and they run with it there. That's fine, do that. In America, that's not the way it works. It works because it's just like the chair said. I'll call you chairman, that's what we call folks in Annapolis. It doesn't offend you there. That's what happened, and you are the Republican chairman. There's no question after that.
And it was Pelosi. There's no question.
It's like you say, what we've got to do is we've got to empower small businesses. What they should have done is just give us a tax cut, across the board tax. That's what Ronald Reagan did in the 80s. We don't have to reinvent history. Ronald Reagan inherited. How many of you remember what 1980 was like, 30 years ago? I had just gotten my first job, so believe me, I was paying attention to the tax rate. We were just about to buy our first house. I was paying attention to the mortgage rate, and it was 17%. Remember that? 17%. Double-digit inflation, double-digit interest rate, 70% mortgage, and some thug nation was holding our hostages for over 400 days. It happens to be the same thug nation that's threatening us now. The history repeats itself. the answer is going to be exactly the same. We're going to go to the polls for 6 short months. So 6 months from yesterday, early voting starts. And we're going to go to the polls, and we're going to do what we have to do as Americans. Because it is our duty. It's not just something we ought to do on that Tuesday in November if we go early, a little earlier. We've got to realize this is about the American dream. This is about the systematic dismantling of the American dream by Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Harry Reid. That's what it is. And well, she had her hand in it too, but you know, Harry's the lead guy there. So what we've got to do, it is our duty, because it's our duty to our children and our grandchildren that we give them the exact same America we had. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not the America we have now. So I'm going to ask you in November to go to the polls and help me make sure that Nancy Pelosi is not the Speaker of the House in January 2011.